Welcome to another edition of The Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Rachel Wusky. Joining me is Coach Moore. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on, Rachel.
Yep. Coach, congratulations on last Friday night's playoff win over Columbus Independence. How would you summarize your team's performance on the big win?
I thought we went out and played well. We executed pretty well offensively, and we faced an offense that had some tempo things going on coming out of the huddle that would give anybody fits, and they're really going to push you about getting lined up correctly and those types of things. And I thought we responded to that well, and had a really nice night on special teams also.
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of big plays for your team in all three phases of the game. Let's start with the defense. Who were some of the guys that stood out in your mind?
I think Nate Depew had a nice game. He's been playing really good football. He's our Mike linebacker, so he has the responsibility of getting us lined up. And he also does a great job reading his keys. And he's a physical tackler as well.
On offense, running back Freddie Lennox Jr. had another big night. What makes Freddie a dangerous weapon carrying the football?
Well, Freddie's fast. I think he finished in the top 10 in the 100-meter dash last year as a sophomore. So, he's one of the fastest kids in Ohio. And, he's been working at running back for only 4 weeks or so, 4 or 5 weeks maybe. So as he really starts to get a feel for everything, he's improving by leaps and bounds every week. And but if we can get him a seam, he doesn't have a chance to go the distance. Like, he's going to go. Mm-hmm. He had a really nice run on Friday too, where there's a linebacker that was full, kind of left the ground, shoulder pad on the body tackle, and he just ran right through it. You got a guy that's that fast that can also run through tackles like that. You got a chance to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Can you compare and contrast this year's offensive line with some of the lines from the past several years?
That's tough. We've had some good ones. The one thing about this year is I don't know how many times we've had our real true blue 5 best starters on the field. There's been, 3 games, maybe 4, where we've actually had all those guys on the field together. So I just think we're scratching the surface of the potential of this offensive line, and we look forward to getting more snaps underneath our belts together as a unit. But this line's pretty good. They performed well again last Friday.
Mm-hmm. You continue to get outstanding performances from your special teams. Who stepped up this week in that group?
Well, that conversation's got to start with Austin Brawley, and he's been doing it all year. Special teams wise, he's got 7 block kicks. I think 3 punt returns for touchdowns, a kickoff return for touchdowns. So, Austin is an absolute game changer, an absolute weapon on special teams, and he had another punt return for a touchdown on Friday. Also, Ryan Zankovich had a big block punt. Also, that led to another return for a touchdown. Cam Beasley ended up fielding that one around the line of scrimmage and returned it. And those were 2 huge plays when you're playing well offensively and then you get a stop defensively and your special team scores on somebody. That can be really demoralizing for the other team. So those were big plays for us.
Mm-hmm. Because of the lopsided score, you were able to play a lot of underclassmen. How valuable is it for these younger Tigers to get the game experience like that, especially in the playoffs?
Really valuable. There's really no substitute for live game reps. And so to get out there and get that experience for those younger guys, it's huge for their development. But also it was really neat to get some of the seniors on that have stuck with the program and maybe they're not as talented as some of the other guys that were playing, but they stuck with it. They're great scout team players for us. Maybe they're great special teams players for us and contribute in that way. But to let them play a primary offensive or defensive positions in some reps in front of their family was a great thing to be able to give those guys.
Mm-hmm. In a moment, we'll talk with the Tiger player. But first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile per gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call Reliable Heating and Cooling for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning. When you're ready to live in the now, call Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Thank you, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Joining me now is senior outside linebacker and unit leader Nate Watkins. Nate, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
First of all, congratulations on being named one of the unit leaders on this year's team. Tell us how you felt when you found out you were selected as a unit leader.
I took it as an honor for the coaches to see me as a leader and taking on the team, tell them what they need to do, make us a better team.
How old were you when you first started playing football, and who taught you the game?
I think I was like 8, and my dad taught me.
As an outside linebacker, describe some of the skills that are necessary to be successful in that position.
I feel like you just need to be focused, dialed in all the time, because you never know what's going to get thrown at you.
As a unit leader, what is your message to your teammates as you get ready for this week to face off against Westerville South in round 2 of the playoffs?
I just feel like we just got to play our game, know how we supposed to play. Don't let any other stuff get in the way.
Thanks, Nate. Coach Moore will rejoin us after we take this timeout on The Nate Moore Show.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
Welcome back to the Nate Moore Show. Coach, we just spoke with senior outside linebacker Nate Watkins. How has Nate contributed to the success of the football team this year?
Well, Nate's had kind of an interesting journey this year. He really started off the year mostly on special teams. And we had a guy named Riley Campbell who was playing our OB position on the backside of our defensive line. And Cam Beasley was manning our Sam linebacker position. And then we were in a situation around the middle of the year where Cam Beasley was out. And, both of those positions are pretty unique with the type of kid you're really looking for there. And, we settled on Nate filling in for Cam Beasley. And he went out and had a really nice game. I think that was the St. Ed's game when Cam was out. And, really blew us away a little bit with how well he played. And that kind of led to him taking over the OB position once Cam got back, and that allowed us to move Riley Campbell into our 5 technique defensive end position. And those moves really made us a much better defense. Nate's he's a big, strong, good-looking kid. You know, he's 6'1", 210 pounds, and he's really fast. You know, faster than most people probably think. And he's made some big plays for us with some sacks on some 3rd and longs and some tackles for losses. And I mean, he's definitely made us better. You know, right now here at the end of the season.
Over the past several years, your teams have made deep playoff runs. How valuable has it been for the football program having all of these additional postseason practices?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think it's huge. You know, the last 3 years have been 15 weeks long, and so that's an extra half a season over somebody that doesn't make the playoffs, and you know, you stack up a lot of bricks there. That's over the last 3 years for these seniors. That's you know, an extra season and a half. So you know, it's a great advantage. It is kind of, you know, to the victor goes the spoils, and you know, is that fair necessarily? I don't know, but you know, it's a great advantage for the teams that are going that deep in the playoffs, and you know, it's been huge for our kids.
Your Tigers will face Westerville South this Friday night at home in a Division II second-round playoff game. Can you tell us about the Wildcats?
Yeah, Westerville South's a good team. We're 3-0 against them all time. We played a 2-game series with Westerville South in 2001, 2002, where the Tigers won pretty big in both those games, and then nothing until last year. We played them in the playoffs in the regional finals, and it was kind of a wild game. We were up 42-9, and then gave up a couple onside kicks and a couple trick plays, and all of a sudden it's a ball game, and we ended up winning 45-36. But a lot of kids are back from that team, including their best player, number 2, Caden Saunders, who's going to Penn State. They did lose their quarterback, who was a really good player for them last year. They've got a sophomore, but you know, he looks like he's going to be a pretty good player himself. Does a nice job, looks real comfortable in the pocket, makes good reads, distributes the ball. They've got a nice running back. But their strength is definitely in the skill positions, both sides of the ball. Great receiving core, really good on the back end in their defense. You know, we're going to have to go out and play well.
Yeah. Does Westerville South compare to any of the other teams we've played this season?
Let's see, I'm not sure. I mean, not directly. Maybe Fitch, kind of. Canisius a little bit in certain ways. I wouldn't say there's one team where you could say, like, yeah, they're a lot like those guys, but out of everybody on our schedule, those are probably the 2 closest.
We want to thank Coach Moore and Tiger senior outside linebacker Nate Watkins for joining us on the show this week. The Nate Moore Show has been brought to you by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Rachel Wusky. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Bye, sweetie. I love you.
Bye, Mommy. I love you.
No matter where life takes you, MCTV helps make sure you're never far from home.
Hi. Are you being good for Daddy?
Yes. Can we read a bedtime story?
MCTV connects you to home because that's what matters most.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
MCTV. We go the extra smile.